Hey y'all, I am back. I wanted to show you what I've done so far in my journaling box and my journaling kit and maybe do a spread with you. It is a super overcast, rainy day here in Los Angeles. Actually, we just had a flash flood warning, so yeah, I'm going to be spending the day in the house. So I figured, why not do a little bit of crafting self-care time? I love to craft as a way of encouraging myself. I just enjoy creative activities, but I also really enjoy when I use my journals to actually write and pray. They remind me of who I am and how loved I am, and they just make me smile because of the decorations. And yeah, creativity can do that. So if you aren't into journaling, but you do like stickers and crafting and things like that, decorating journals can also be a fun way to create a unique gift for somebody else. So you could just buy a journal and decorate it with all kinds of things that you think would be inspiring and encouraging to someone else, and then gift the journal to someone. And it can be your personal handmade creation as a gift for them. So there's all kind of ways you can get into journaling and stickering and all that kind of stuff. But before I just start mumbling on, let me get myself organized here. I'm trying to make space so you guys can actually see. Let's start. And I apologize if the lighting is a little dim or if there's a dog in the shot. Okay, buddy. My dog thinks he's a cat, so he crawls over my desk constantly. Hopefully I can keep him out of frame. Yeah. Hello, buddy. Yep. Okay. Let's pop this open, and I'm going to move this out of the way so hopefully that you can get a better sense of the colors. I'm going to pop this open so you can see what I have done so far using all of the items that came in the journaling kit. If you didn't see my unboxing video of the actual kit, I'll make sure to link that in the description box below so that you can see the actual kit. But this journal is really beautiful. And this is from Rongrong, and she did a whole kit with these beautiful Black women in honor of Black Women for Black History Month. A portion of the sales is going to a organization called Black Girls Smiles, which supports Black women and girls in mental health. So definitely check that out. If you have not already checked it out, it is limited edition, so I don't know if it will still be available by the time this video goes up. But either way, support Rongrong. She creates beautiful products that I love and I highly recommend. So this inside page, if you saw the unboxing video, it's got a really pretty like cream colored interior. You can see the difference here between the white and the cream. It had Legacy and Bloom and these flowers on it. And then I took some of the functional stickers from the kit and placed them here. What I like to do in my journals is to actually have, let me see if I can show you one of my past. So this is a Archer and Olive journal. And let me see, can I show this? Yes, I can. So usually what I do is on the inside page of my journals is 3 stickers. What's funny is actually this is a Rongrong sticker. This is all one sticker. So Rongrong does these really cool stickers where there are multiple stickers that are kind of layered, or designs that are layered to look like individual stickers. I love using these in my journals to label the journal number it is. So this is book 11 since I started adult journaling again. Adult journaling, you know, Dear Diary, that kind of stuff. These are the dates that I filled this journal. You can see this is September to November of 2025. Journals usually last me about 2 months, maybe 3 months, depending on how much I write. This isn't the exact days that I started it, but basically September to November, and then I just put my name. So I like to have kind of a 3-box setup so that I can write that in the front of all of my journals. Let's see. I love this journal too. This company isn't around anymore, or else I would recommend it. Yeah, I can show you. So here's another one. So this was like May and June, so I had a lot to write. Obviously, this was a short one. Also, this one is a thinner, less paper, but May and June. So this was book 7, and then there's my name there. And again, this is another Rongrong sticker. That's hilarious. Clearly, you can tell that I really like Rongrong. Anyways, back to this. So I used one of the clear stickers over here. And then I used, these are actually individual functional stickers, so it's not one of those 3 sticker clusters, but I used her individual stickers here. I added a little book, and then I added some of the kind of vine ashes, some of the vine stickers that she included, just to kind of finish off the corners, because this side felt unbalanced, so without something else here, so I just kind of added that in. All right, let's keep a flipping. So I'm just gonna kind of do a quick flip through. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. That way I don't have to keep picking the book up. Hopefully you can see it. Again, apologize for the lighting. I got all my lights on, but yeah, it is very overcast, so there's no real good light coming in from the window. So the notepad that she included, I actually will use some of this as a notepad, but there's a lot of paper on here, actually. I don't know how many pages this notepad is, but you can see it's pretty thick. So, and I've already torn off a few pages. So I don't feel bad about using some of it inside of my actual journal. So in this in sheet page, which is usually kind of a weird page in most journals because it's glued together with the first page, so it's, you know, hard for it to lay flat. I don't usually like to decorate a lot on the spine because it just makes the page thicker and harder to use. So this is a good spot to just put in one of these and add some texture. I just attached it with one of the washi tapes that came in the kit. And then here I was kind of just playing around and layering, and I wanted to see how some of the clear stickers that came in the kit layered on top of the washi. In person, I can see the hands that are on this sticker, but on camera, it probably looks like you can't really see much of it. All right, let me zoom out. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see all the edges a little bit better. All right, so here, I actually took one of the vellum sheets. So there's all of these beautiful vellum sheets that are included in the journaling kit. I actually attached it into the journal using some tip-in tape. This tip-in tape is from Phelps Designs. You can find her on Etsy and her own website, another small business that I love. It has a clear tape that has a separated tear-off. So I think hopefully you can see that on the camera, but basically it makes it so easy to tip in a piece of vellum. Maybe I'll do that in my spread in a bit so you can see it, but let's just continue flipping through. So I did cut this vellum down a little bit on the edges just to make sure that it would fit perfectly into the book. And then I used my little corner tool. I used this scallop piece to cut the edges so that they wouldn't be a sharp edge. Can you see that? Let me put something under it. Actually, here. This is a more contrast here for you. Be able to see it a little better. So I did scallop the edges. And then on this page, I used the wider washi that has that gold ripped foil look all the way across. And I think that's nice. I can't decide if I'm going to add something else to this edge of the washi. I don't know if I like how straight it is right there, but I think it's fine for now. It came out nice. All right, let's keep flipping. All right, this one I did a little bit of experimentation. So this is actually the top of this sheet. So in this kit, there are the paper sheets that she gave us, the little kind of like collage papers. If I can find one. Did I use them all? I didn't use them all. Hold on. Let's find one. Here. So there's like the collage papers. This collage paper actually was kind of similar to this one where there was like this design was at the top and then the bottom had this girl. So I actually tore the paper, glued one side to this side, and then I glued the other half of the paper to this side. And then I just cut along the fray of the paper where it naturally tore. Then I tore some of this paper, or sorry, this washi, I placed here and I tore it along that edge. So that kind of has the same ripped feel. That's how I got that spread. When it was done like this, it felt a little bit imbalanced or like there wasn't something to draw in that pink color. So I ended up just adding one of the girl stickers here in the corner And I feel like that balanced out the spread well. So this one, I used a lot of the ballerina stickers. This was a washi sticker that was included in the kit. And then these are all stickers off of the PET tape roll. And then I said in my unboxing video that even though she does include functional stickers in here so you can use them in your actual planner, I have a different way of doing my planning, and I like to mostly use washi stickers. Right now I'm in a Sterling Ink Tomoe River paper planner, and these functional stickers are paper, which I don't have a problem with. I use these in other planners like the Laurel Denise planner. But since I knew I wasn't going to be using these functional stickers in here for making like my own Bujo spreads, I did start using some of the letters and making my own words and phrases inside of some of the spreads. So this one, I used the ballerina. I liked using the adult ballerina, and she's kind of like looking at the young ballerina. I know this a lot, but that was my thought process. And I used some of the kind of gold foilish looking stickers to pull that design together. And then I used the other half of this washi strip here. And then I put one of the violinists, and then I used the letters again just to spell out the word grace along this edge. This one, I actually ended up tearing up one of these Daily Bloom sheets. You can see let's see, where is that? This matches here. So you can see I just tore this, and then I used the rest of the sheet and just taped it down into the edges. I just used this permanent, you can use any sort of tape runner, but I use this permanent tape runner. And then I added the stickers, some of the PET stickers off this roll. I added them to the rest of the spread, and I wanted to use the florals here since I was using the Legacy in Bloom sticker. Watered by Wisdom, I did like a little prayer corner, prayer page. So we've got this lady here praying. This is the first time where I did use something outside of the kit. I have some washi tape. I've had this so long, I have no idea where I got it from, but it's just some random washi tape that I have. This is a very thin tape. I basically used it to layer here. Then I cut it along the edge of the sticker. So I actually put her down first, layered the washi, cut it along the edge so it gave her something to lean against. And then I added one of the PET stickers to just anchor her in this corner. It kind of gives a nice effect of like her in her little prayer room. And it added some furniture and some of the journaling stickers up there at the top. So this is the only thing not in the kit that I used on that spread. This one is another one of the functional boxes. And just to create some interest, I cut along the edge of this sticker. The washi, I also used my corner tool to curve that edge so that it blended. I did the same thing on the next page. So you can see here, it kind of has like a weird cutout there. So I might go back and put another sticker there just so that when I am writing on this page, there'll be a sticker there, not my handwriting, but it doesn't really bother me, but I might go back and do that. But you can see that edge there. And so then I just used some of the washi tape, again, more stickers from the sticker roll to decorate this page. And I cut this so you can see that this piece of washi is going across this page, stops there, and then it continues actually on the next page. So I did cut the top of this page and again cut that corner so that these corners are both curved. And then this is the final page of the spread, but you can still see through to the first page, the second page, and this page. But it follows through because you've got the washi going across. Then I've used some more of the stickers from the set here, and I just focused on the florals and the young lady having her little tea there. This little piece of the journal here, you can see it if I put so basically I just put my cutting board under the page, cut there, and then I just use a ruler and cut so that I left maybe 2mm piece of this page still here. If that bothers you, you can cut all the way in. I like to leave this just because depending on how certain books are bound, I don't ever want to accidentally cut some of the binding, and then I've got loose pages in the back. So this doesn't really bother me. If you want to be super, super precise, you can do the cut and then put some additional, like this piece of washi, I could have put all the way across here to cover it. Because I wasn't going to use the functional stickers too much, I basically took some of the bullets and covered up. If you haven't seen this journal or watched the unboxing video, the top of each page has the week at the top. I journal more than one page a day. Very rarely do I only write one page, and so I didn't want to have this at the top of every page. And because I decorate these and then write in them, I might not write into this journal for another month while I'm finishing the current journal that I'm in. I don't know exactly when I'm going to start this, so I'd rather just cover that up. I like that she put this in here for anyone who does do the 1 page a day kind of method where you're just journaling 1 page a day. But for me, I might write 1 page, I might write 10 pages in a day. It just really depends on what I am journaling about, what I'm praying about, because I kind of do a mix of journaling and prayer in my journals. So instead of saving these to use as bullets in my planner, I actually use them to cover up the days of the week. There's a lot of bullets in this kit, so if you like to use bullets in your journals, it's great. But it's also great for me because I will probably do different styles of covering up these days of the week on some of the different spreads using these dots, and there's plenty of them, so I'm excited about being able to use them in that way. So we've got another spread there. This is another simple one. If you didn't notice, this big wide washi tape, I basically tore a long strip in half so that it could have kind of that ripped edge, and then I put the other half on this page. So that's also a great way to make your washi last, is by actually tearing it in half and using it on 2 different spreads. And we've got this one. This is another one where I did a little bit of cutting using the notepad. I tore up a piece of the notepad using some stickers from the kit. And then I cut here, and I used the other side of this notepad on this page. You can see another piece of the notepad here, and then some washi from the kit, I believe. Yeah, I think it was on this page. So it's like this washi here, but there was a wider strip. So I used that there. I layered another sticker on top of one of the functional box stickers. And then I put this unapologetically growing sticker here on top of this washi. And I've seen some people decorating their journals with this kit, putting the clear stickers that have text onto a white piece of paper, cutting around it, and then gluing it with a tape runner or a glue stick so that the letters pop more. I think that's a great way of doing it. But for me personally, I can see this in person. It's probably not showing up as well on camera because it is a similar color to this gold kind of background. But in person, it actually looks fine. Even though you guys are probably just seeing growing, I'm seeing all of the words. So you don't have to do the extra work of layering the stickers unless you really want to make it pop. This, I'm excited about how I used this. So let me see. In the kit, Rongrong always packages her stickers really well to make sure that they don't get like bent. And let me see if I can, I tore them up. So let me see if I can find it. All of these pages were originally packaged inside a little clear sleeve. And then the sleeve, let's see, I'm talking slowly because I am trying to find what I'm looking for. Clearly I did not reorganize after I decorated. All of the stickers are normally packaged inside. Okay, hold on. Can I not find it because it's still in the box? Yes, because I left it in a box. Okay, so normally the kit is packaged in a clear sleeve, and then it has a thicker stock paper that has the description, and then there's a cover page. So if you watch my unboxing, you'll see me pull this out. I actually like keeping these because she uses her artwork on it. I've found that it's cool to make ephemera out of this to use in my journals. So this originally was here. You can see it. So there was a top part up here that said Rongrong, and then this was right here. This tear obviously wasn't there, but this was here, and then it said Rongrong up here. So I basically just tore off the Rongrong logo, and then I tore this and made a little pocket. So then I just used my tape runner to just put glue around the edge and made a little pocket to store one of these affirmation cards in. So I love these affirmation cards that come in the kit. There's so many of them. I've put a couple of them in my actual planner. So I'll grab my planner so you can see what I did with that. Let me take my dry cleaning receipt out of here. Y'all don't need to see my dry cleaning receipt. I apologize for the shininess because it's got a cover on it so I can keep it clean. But this is my sterling ink planner. But you can see I put one of the affirmation cards here on the front of my sterling ink planner so that I can always see it. And then I also slid another one into the back of my planner. I might go in and put another one in here. I don't know. So I'm using some of the affirmation cards in my actual planner, but I want to use a bunch of them inside of this actual journal and maybe even as a journaling prompt so that when I get to this page, I might think on and meditate on peace blooming when I honor my own story. And the story of how, for me personally, God made me, and the story of my life that he wants me to fulfill, that he designed me to fulfill. So this now is stored into this little pocket here. I did this sideways, partly because then it allows me to still have more journaling room down here, but I could have made the pocket so that it stood up like that. Then I used just some of the vine stickers to pull together the little vine motifs that were still left on those corners where I had torn the cover cardstock. But I'm also going to probably either cut or tear this one and make a little pocket using that. So always love to use up all of the scraps that come along with the kit. So here I used some of the functional boxes and letters to write shine and bloom. Here I used another one of the daily bloom sheets, and this one is just taped down at the top using two of the washi tapes that came in the kit. I used the lettering here to just spell out faith, and I left this one so that it can be or folded up so I can journal here, and then I will probably also write some affirmation or a scripture here when I am actually journaling. And that brings me to the next blank page in my journal. So let's see. For those of you who've been waiting for me to get to the decorate with me part, you're like, finally. All right, let's see. What do I want to use? I have not actually made a plan, so this is all impromptu. Let's look through what I've got left that I might want to use today. I really like these. Let's see. There's the rest of that gold sheet, that washi that you saw me using. See how many stickers that I've used, but also how many I have left, and I still have a lot of stickers on this PT roll. So I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to decorate this entire journal using pretty much exclusively stickers from this kit. Let's see. I'm kind of feeling like I want to do something with, can you see that through? Just trying to see if I can see through this. That, I think, covers up too much. But if I did it this way, you can see that through. Okay, so let's do... All right, here's what we're going to do. So, because this is... I'm going to start with this collage paper. Because this collage paper is thick, you won't be able to see the days of the week through it. So I'm going to just lay it down directly over the top of this. If I was using a clear, or like if I was going to lay this down on here, I would go over the days of the week with a whiteout roll. This is just my Tombow Mono, but you can use whatever, whiteout runner, I guess. Is that what they're called? Whiteout runner? Correct me in the comments. Whiteout runner? Whatever they're called. You can use those, but I won't need it. So let me make sure I move up so that you can see what I'm doing. All right. So I'm going to, I want this, I'm going to put the matte side. You can see how one side is shiny and then one side is matte. I actually like using the matte side of the vellum. You can use either. Although, if I use the shiny side of the vellum on this side, I'll be able to see, no, I can see the faces either way. So I'm going to use the matte side. Okay, so first, we're going to use this. Since this is going to be laid this way, I'm going to, I think this will be nice in this corner. Now you could tear this way, it doesn't really matter. But I think if I'm going to do this in the corner, all I care about is that it's wide enough to cover the dates. So you can do this, you can tear as small or as big a piece as you want, but I like that. And I'm just going to sit my little clip, I'm just going to sit that there so I can get a sense of what I'm doing. If this journal did not have this at the top, I would probably put this here because I think it would be pretty, but we are going to cover up those days of the week. That is my goal. So I could flip this and put it here, or I could tear a different direction. And I kind of want, just trying to decide which way I like the layering to go. I don't want it to start here again, if that makes sense. I'd want this side to be lower so that it's kind of like a curtain effect versus it looking like a duplication. So I think what I'm going to do, I want to use as much paper as I can without wasting anything. So I think what I'm going to do, and I like this being lower because then it's kind of like that's there and that's there. So I'm going to tear, again, it does not need to be even with the other side. And I don't like the way that that tore, so I'm going to pull back up. Okay. Oops. All right. So for some of y'all who are like, what is she talking about? It will all make sense when you see it. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right. Because again, my goal is just to cover up the lettering. That's pretty printed. So, grabbing my tape roller, and we have dog hair. Real life, y'all. Asher be getting his dog hair everywhere. All right. So I'm going to tape roll. And I'm going to try to match it as close to the edge as possible. And actually, I'm going to start at this corner. And, hold on. I got to take my glasses off so I can see up close real good. And I'm going to start at this corner. Hopefully my head is not in the way. You can see what I'm doing. But I'm just going to put it in the spine and then run it as close as I can to the top edge of the paper. And then you can see that it is overhanging a little bit. That is totally okay. I'm going to go in with my scissors, and these are specifically scissors that are made to cut stickers. So you can use regular scissors, but I like these because there is tape, glue on this piece of paper, but it doesn't get, my scissors don't get sticky. These are Fisker non-stick scissors. Blah, blah, blah. Fisker non-stick scissors. So you can grab those probably anywhere, but there's a lot of different brands that you can buy. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Again, starting at the corner that's going to go into the spine being most important. Oops, got a little bit of glue on my page. I can just roll that off. All right. And we're going to do the same thing here, starting as close to the top edge as possible and putting the paper right into the spine to line it up and lay it down. All right, so now we've got our curtain going across, or our awning. And again, I'm going to cut off this overhang. Now, if you want to be really sustainable, you can also save these little pieces that you've already gotten some glue on and place them on other spreads or in other spreads. You can also do that by using wax paper. So I like to keep just a piece of wax paper at my desk. I pull it from the kitchen, and then you can put your extra leftover bits on the wax paper, then still pull it off, even though it is permanently adhesive. Obviously, you don't press it down a lot, but I do this sometimes too if I cut a sticker and don't want to use the other piece of the sticker, or like this is some washi tape that I cut a while back that I wanted to save the other piece to use at some point. That is just a tip so that you can use every little last bit of whatever it is that you own. All right, I'm going to do the pocket next, and then I'm going to do I want to do the pocket? No, actually, yeah, let me do the pocket next, and then I'm going to do the vellum piece. So we've got this, which is the cover, which is a thick paper stock. I don't want it to say journaling kit there. Excuse my voice. I am slowly getting over a cold. So because this is a coated paper stock, right? It's thicker than a regular paper. You might have to tear a little bit stronger than you would on, a regular piece of paper, but it will tear. And so I'm just being gentle so I don't accidentally tear the girl, and I just tear off the journaling kit words. And then I think I'm just going to try to go down to like where the top of this leaf is. All right. So now I've got that nice raw edge. Obviously, if you don't like the raw edge, you could also cut it. It's really up to you. Let's see. This I know is slightly wider. You can see that it's slightly wider than the actual journal. Because I don't want to cut off too much of this girl, but I feel like I could cut off just a little bit on each side. Let's see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to line this up on my cutting board. I'm going to we can just use, I have some washi tape that I don't use a lot. This, I believe, is from a Rongrong kit. It was a fall kit. I loved the kit, but I'm not like a huge pumpkin girl. I know some of y'all is, pumpkin everything, pumpkin season. So I don't mind wasting a little bit of this just to use it in a functional sense. So I do use it on my journals, but not often. I am using it functionally here. So I'm just going to use that just to hold down this so that it doesn't slip and slide while I am cutting. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the sides just a little bit. Now, normally you should measure. I'm going to advocate for measuring. However, comma, I'm not going to measure. I'm going to just use eyeballing it. But if you want your cuts to be precise, please do measure. I'm just going to eyeball this and cut off about, I'm going to cut off about 1 centimeter. Again, eyeballing it, so this is not perfect. But the main thing I care about is that it's straight. So that's why I've put that down, and I'm using my rotary cutter. You can find this on Amazon. You can also just use scissors by drawing a line and then just use your scissors to cut. But if you've got a rotary cutter or an X-Acto knife, you can use either of those. And I'm just lining up the lines on my ruler with the lines on the rotary mat to make sure that it is straight, and then pressing down on both the ruler that I'm using. This is actually a stencil from Archer and Olive, but it's acrylic, so it's really nice and sturdy and thick. I don't know if you can see that, but it's nice and sturdy and thick, like a ruler. I've got bigger rulers, but when I'm doing more precision stuff like this, it's easier for me to use this smaller ruler. And then I'm gonna rotate this again to make it easy on myself. And I'm gonna put down the stencil right along the edge. I think I want this to be straight. Let me think about this. Do I want to tear it? No, let's keep it. We'll keep the bottom straight. Do I want, yeah, we'll keep the bottom straight. I was trying to decide if I want to keep some of this brown edge. Let's see. I can always start keeping it, and then if I don't like it, I can cut it off. So let's, sorry if my head was just in the camera. Okay, before I let go, just want to make sure that I've properly cut. And now this is trash. So the thing I also love about doing this, if I haven't said enough already, is that pretty much I'm using the entire cover of the kit. I just love being able to use every single little scrap. Now that also does mean that I am slightly a pack rat and have scraps of a lot of things. I have a lot of the covers from past Rongrong and other sticker company kits. I have them in a little bucket that I keep and pull them out and use them every so often for different projects. It's a way to also make your kit last even longer by using up every single little thing that comes with it. All right, look at that, eyeballing it. I cut it pretty perfectly, and it fits really nicely in there with just a little bit of room on each side, because again, remember, I'm going to go back in with my vellum. So I think I do want this on this side, because the other thing I could do is put this on this side. Let me know in the comments which side you would have put it on, the right or the left. If I put it on this side, I'm not going to really have much writing space. I'll have about the same amount of writing space on either side. I don't know what I want to do. Oh, I can't decide. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to decide since I can't read y'all's comments yet. But please let me know which side you would have put it on. I could also put the pocket on the vellum. The only reason why I'm hesitating in putting the pocket on the vellum is because you're going to see the ink. Since this isn't a full like envelope, right? There's no back to it. You're going to see the, not the ink, the tape on the opposite side. So like when you flip it over, you'll see the tape. You would also see like the card. I haven't decided which card I'm putting in here, but like you'd also see the card. So that's not bad. Let's see, what's on the other side of this? This has that taped to that side. I think I'm going to actually put it on, I'm right-handed, so it'll be easier to write here with this flipped over. Since this is a bound journal that doesn't fold back on itself. So I'm going to put the pocket on this side. Okay, so now that that is decided, let's do the vellum first and then the pocket. I know I said I was going to do it the other way around, but I've changed my mind. All right, so again, this is tip and tape from Lauren Phelps Designs. I don't know if you can see her logo there, but it's Lauren Phelps Designs. You should definitely check her out. I'm going to move this sideways just because it's easier. And again, the vellum is just slightly overhangs the edge of the journal pages, which is good because then you can cut it down to size. I am going to cut a piece of this tip and tape that is shorter than the journal page. Because it's clear, I don't really care if it goes all the way to the very edge of the journaling page. It is fine. Where are my scissors? Y'all? Okay, here we go. Here are my scissors. So I'm just going to cut a nice strip. It's also vellum, so it's not like it's heavy, so it's not like you need a lot to hold it down, but at the same time, I do like to have it mostly held down by the tape because then that way there's less chance of it getting bent or something like that. Now, if you do not have tip and tape, you can absolutely use one of the washi tapes from the kit. I would probably recommend using either this one or this one just because they're a little bit wider, and so it'll make sure you don't have to be precise in order to get it to go across the entire spine. But if you do have tip and tape, or you can just use regular tape, I just find that this is so much easier to use. Functionally, it's just a lot easier. And there's so many other uses for this. Again, glasses off. I'm telling my age, glasses off so I can see up close. And I'm just going to line this, again, hopefully my head is not in the shot, but I'm going to line the tip and tape as best I can up with the vellum. So you can see that this side, I just tore off the one side of the tape. So this side still has the peel away on it, but this side that was sticky is on there. Now I could lift this up. There's like a little, you see that little divot there? You can be, if you're super gentle, you can lift it up and kind of press out that. You can press it out with your fingernail, but you can kind of press out that little divot. But again, that's only if you care. It's, not that serious, but if you want to. Okay. I don't know why I put my glasses on because I'm going to have to take them off again in a second. So now I'm going to tear off the other side. See how simple that is? Now you can do this again with regular tape, but I always find that I just get stuff stuck on things by accident when I do that. So I'm going to now take this and I'm going to make sure to line it up how I want. I think I want as much of this white part of the artwork in the design as possible. So I'm going to slide this right up to the edge of the spine, holding the tip and tape back. You could also fold the tip and tape before you take the other side of the protective cover off of it. That also helps. And I'm going to place it right up close, as even as I can, to the spine. And then I'm going to lightly press the tape into the spine of the journal. And I did that a little off, so I'm going to just lift it gently and make sure that it goes right into the spine. And smooth it out. So now you can see that I have tipped in or added in this vellum. Now, if you want it to be super crazy, uber secure, you can put another piece of tip and tape on the other side. I don't want to waste this. And really, I'm going to decorate this now. And then the next time I'm going to open this page is going to be when I journal in it. and then I'm going to flip to the next page and keep journaling. So it's not something where I feel like I need that secure of a tape in, but you can absolutely do that, especially if you're using this tip and tape to do like a photo album or something like that, that you're going to be flipping through a lot. But this, I feel like is really good and secure. Now, it's puffing up a little bit here because I didn't layer it perfectly over where I put the collage paper in. So I'm just going to go in with my finger and smooth that out. And now you can see here where it is over the edge. Probably can see it better if I flip the page. So you can see where here it is definitely overhanging. So I'm going to go in and just cut this overhang with my scissors. Again, super simple. I'm just going to use this page as a guide. Being careful to try not to actually cut the page of the journal itself, but cutting as close as I can along. Oh, I'm holding 2 pages. Am I holding 2 pages? No, I'm only holding 1 page. Okay. Holding it as well as I can to cut. Now, if you really want to be fancy, if you've got a clip, you can also use a chip clip. You know, from your kitchen. They do sell on different stationery sites. They sell like journaling clips and things like that, which are really cute. A nice to have item, but they're not necessarily. They're literally just fancy potato chip clips. So you could just grab a potato chip clip if you really need something, or a paper clip will also work. I have this one because I like to, sometimes some of my journals that are not lay flat, like this is not a lay flat journal, or at least I don't believe it is. It doesn't feel like it is. Some of my journals that are not lay flat, when I am journaling for a very long time, because like I said, sometimes I write 10 pages in a day, just praying for people or journaling about my feelings or what's going on in life. So I like to have this because it's heavy. So it weights. It's heavier than my plastic chip clips. So I keep it in my journaling stash. All right, so that's looking pretty nice. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what you think so far. And if you've ever done like a tip-in with your vellum. Some people don't really like to do tip-ins with vellum. They like to use them in other ways, or they like to glue the vellum down. Some people use vellum as a layering element in their planners. Okay. I think I am going to, I'm trying to decide if I want to leave the corners pointed or if I want to do something fun with them. I could do a curve or a scallop. I think I am going to scallop. Since I scalloped the other ones, let's keep it. I'm not going to necessarily scallop every corner in this journal, but I do like that scalloped look. And it's a tiny thing. Like you guys can probably barely see it. Let me grab, I have so many journals. Let me grab another journal so you can see it. You can see that it's now scalloped instead of a pointed edge. It is a tiny thing. No one else is going to notice that little tiny detail. And like I said, this journal is for me, myself, and I. One day after I'm gone, maybe somebody will read it. But it's a little detail that just makes it pretty and nice for me, because this is for my own self-care and enjoyment. I love journaling for that purpose. All right, so now I'm just going to use some of this permanent adhesive and just roll the tape on the edge. Again, I'm not having to be super precise because I don't know if I'm going to put 1 or 2 cards in here, but there's plenty of space here inside of where the tape is. So now I am going to place this as evenly as possible, slightly up from the bottom edge. You could put this on the very bottom edge of the journal. Uh-oh, did I do it? Enough into the spine? Oh no, yeah. I did not really do that well, but I also already stuffed it down. I might have to cut it a little bit. Let's see. This is why I like to not do a whole ton of editing to these videos so you can see my mistakes. It's okay. All right, so I should have lined up the pocket with this seam in the edge and then laid it down. which I did not do. So you can see that it is a little, I don't know if you can even see that, but it's just a little bit curled up, like bent up a little bit. That is okay. I'm just going to close my book, like put a little pressure on the spine and pop it back open. So now when I go to write in this page, I'll still be able to write in it. It's just that it's sitting up a little bit instead of laying flat, but I'll still be able to write here. So it's a good thing I put that on the side, huh? All right. So now you can see I've got a really super cute pocket over here. And I could do a few things, honestly. I could actually put a couple of these. I wonder if these Daily Grace pages would fit in here. They do. So I could do a couple of these little, I said Daily Grace, Daily Bloom pages. I wonder if I might use these just for Daily Bloom pages. Originally, I was going to put a card in there too. I mean, I could put both. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just do, I'll do both. Let's see. Oh, and this one actually goes with all of this. So we're going to do this card. I shine from roots to crown. Where my curly coily girls. Y'all know what that means. Love my hair, my natural hair. So I love that. Okay, so we're going to do that. All right, so we've got that. And now I'm just trying to decide if I like this spread, this side as is, or if I want to add anything on this side. I don't know. Let's look real quick through the sticker sheets, what I have left. And I want to use her because she's already right there. Rooted in strength, blooming in grace. Yeah, that's pretty. What do we think? And it's got the green and the gold. So now here's another one where, here's the example of where if I was to put this down directly, this is a clear sticker, right? So if I was to put this down directly on the lines, it's going to get a little distorted by the lines, and then you're going to have this on top of it. So we're going to do what I said earlier you don't necessarily need to do, but we're going to actually put this on a white background. So let me see. Where do I have some white paper? I've got some scraps of paper everywhere. All right, here is a sheet of white paper. And we're going to take this sticker. And I'm just going to put it down here in the corner. Not because it matters, but because that way I can use the rest of this paper for something else. All right. And then I'm just going to use I could use a cutting tool. Do I use a cutting tool or I just want to use scissors? I'll use a cutting tool. I've got this little gyro kind of tool. I'm just going to press. It's kind of nice because it can just go around the corners of the sticker, but you can just use your scissors to do this. I'm going to turn while still holding the tool down. That's the fastest and easiest way I've found to get a smooth cut. If you have one of these tools and you find that you don't get very smooth cuts when you go around curves, that is my tip. It doesn't always work, but it's what I found works the best for me. And I'll show you what I mean by it's not perfect. So you can see that it's still got little notches where you can see that I turned the tool. But I'm just going to go back in and clean those up with my scissors, which probably bears the question of, Jamila, why didn't you just use your scissors in the first place instead of trying to use a fancy tool? That's why I'll be telling y'all some of these things are nice to have, so you don't actually need them. but oops. Let me see. Do I like this shape? I like the shape. I think I might. Yeah, I like the shape. Okay, so set this aside because I can use that paper for something else. Put my glasses back on. All right, so let's pull our spread back over. All right, sorry, I had a little battery problem. Let's zoom you in so you can see. All right, so we've got our sticker that is now on this white backing. And I think what I'm gonna do is just put it right here in this corner. So I think that'll be pretty. So our last step here, just going to, if you picked up this kit, this Her Story Blooms kit from Rongrong, or if you are a fan of Rongrong stickers, I'd love to hear if you've shopped for her before, what your favorite set is. I have said many times, I am not an affiliate. I am just a fan of her artwork and of her company and her mission to really show the diversity and beauty of all people through her stickers. And so I love supporting. All right, so there is a spread. So I can't wait to use the rest of the set. There's so many pieces in this set that I still have left. Like I said, there's so many pieces. I still have so many stickers. I definitely have not used even a whole loop of this PET sticker roll yet. And I've got plenty of washi tape left to use throughout this journal. So I'm super excited about decorating the rest of this. So we did a pocket here. We've got some little note cards, or not note cards, but the notepad pages that I will definitely be writing some little notes of encouragement to myself on. We've got our little affirmation card, which also fits nicely in the pocket and goes with all the shimmer that we've placed on this page. And then we've used this vellum to have this really pretty kind of see-through effect for my journaling. All right, y'all. I am super excited to continue to complete this journal. I have so much more to go. Look, I've only done that much decorating. So I've got a lot of pages to go. If you'd like to see this completed journal, let me know that in the comments. If not, that's okay too. But I just wanted to share this to give you guys some ideas on how you can use this kit to show you that you could pretty much decorate a journal with just this kit without having to really buy much else, even though I did show you some different tools and things. But you've got like plenty of stickers and washi tape and everything that you can use to decorate this kit. Like I said, the only thing that I've used so far that didn't come in it is this random washi that I had left over that just had a nice color, but I didn't have to use that. I could have used this thinner washi here that did come in the kit. So just want to encourage you to check this out, and thank you for spending some time with me. If you'd like to see any other types of journaling or journal decor videos, let me know in the comments below, because I love doing this. This is what I do in my self-care time, is to decorate journals that I then go and fill out with my thoughts and prayers later. If you'd like to see some more of my journals or see how I create some of these spreads, please let me know anything in the comments below, and I'll be sure to share some videos or tips on those with you in the future. All right, y'all. I will talk to you again soon. Bye.